Let's try this one. Accumulation of urea in blood is called A. Hematuria, B. Pyuria, C. Uremia, or D. Ketonuria. Now, students, we all know that in humans, kidneys help in excreting urea from the body. Abnormal functioning of kidneys will lead to accumulation of this urea in the blood. And such a condition is what we call as uremia. All right. Now, uremia can lead to fluid, electrolyte, and hormonal imbalances in the body. In fact, it's just the tip, it's just the basic. If uremia is not taken care of well or treated properly, then it can lead to severe complications which can affect the survival of an individual. So, how do you get this corrected? Please note that patients having uremia can undergo hemodialysis to remove the urea from blood. And hemodialysis is done by using a machine which acts like a artificial kidney and removes the nitrogenous wastes. Which one? Urea. Now, let's take a look at the other abnormalities. Okay. We know that it's not just going to be one particular abnormality which can affect a particular organ. Others can be, especially in terms of kidneys functioning. You can see there's something called as ketonuria, glycosuria, alkaptonuria, hematuria, pyuria, and dysuria. So, what is hematuria? Hematuria is the presence of blood in urine, and presence of blood in urine might be due to urinary tract infections, kidney stones, or even tumors. All right. Now, further, pyuria, it's a clinical condition where urine has white blood cells or pus. Okay. Next, ketonuria is a presence of ketone bodies in urines, and ketone bodies are the end products of fatty acid breakdown. So generally, ketones are completely broken down in the liver, and hence small amount of ketones are found in urine. But during ketonuria, large amounts of ketone bodies are present. That is considered abnormal. Okay. Now let's pick the answer for this question. Option C, uremia is the correct answer for this one. Now, before we leave this question out or finish this, please remember hematuria and uremia. Hematuria, blood related. So, blood in urine. Uremia, urea in blood. Please try to remember this. Let's take a look at this one. DASH is the inflammation of glomerulus in kidneys. Is it A, glomerulonephritis, B, uremia, C, ketonuria, or D, dysuria? Dysuria is also said as dysuria. Okay. Now, the question is quite indicative towards the answer. See, glomerulus, inflammation of glomerulonephritis. Well, that is the answer. But let's understand what this condition is. Okay. Students, when you talk about glomerulonephritis, it is actually a condition in which the glomerulus of the nephron is damaged. And why? Due to long-term inflammation. Okay. Now, this inflammation is a response of the immune systems against any irritant. Now, glomerulonephritis may occur due to various reasons such as attack of the immune system on the healthy kidney cells by HIV infections or hepatitis B or hepatitis C. So, viral infections generally have a very strongly negative effect or poor or bad effect on these filtering units or the glomerulus. Now, take a look at this particular image. Can you see the inflamed kidney? All right. Now, let's go further and understand what is uremia. Uremia is the accumulation of urea in blood. And why? Due to malfunctioning of the kidneys. Now, uremia can lead to fluid, electrolyte, as well as hormonal imbalances in the body. Now, this is just the basic. It can lead to further complications as well. Patients having uremia can undergo hemodialysis to remove urea from blood. Hemodialysis acts like an artificial kidney. The process has a machine involved which will act as an artificial kidney and remove the nitrogenous wastes. All right. Here, why? Because the kidney is not functioning well. Further, you had something else called as ketonuria. Students, what happens is the fatty acid breakdown that takes place in the liver releases certain ketone bodies. Now, these ketone bodies happen to be the end product of fatty acid breakdown. Certain amount of ketone is okay, but large amount. Please note this, but during ketonuria, this condition when we say it's ketonuria, that means large amount of ketone bodies are present in the urine, which is not healthy, acceptable or normal. All right. So please remember this. And finally, you had dysuria, which is nothing but painful urine. See, dysuria is a pain or discomfort caused during urinating. Now, urinary tract infections, tumors, kidney stones, vaginitis are some of the causes for dysuria. All right, easy? Well, since you already got the answer in the first go, let's pick this up formally and say yes, option A is the correct answer for this particular question. Let's take a look at this one, students. Deposition of insoluble crystallized salts within the kidney is A. Renal failure, B. Renal tubule, C. Renal transplant, or D. Renal calculi. Now you're talking about crystallized salts which are insoluble. So a presence of something like this wouldn't appear like a stone. Well, there we go. You see, kidney stones are deposition of insoluble salt crystals inside the kidney. And the other term for kidney stones happens to be renal calculi. What happens if the stones are present in the kidney? Will it affect the individual? Well, yes. Patients who have this or individuals who have kidney stones can experience severe abdominal pain, even fever, blood in the urine, vomiting, backache, etc. Students, just remember, please do not associate the symptoms with one disease only. You see, symptoms may be same for many diseases. So just because tomorrow you experience back pain because you played a lot or you lifted something heavy or you fell down, don't think it's kidney stones. Okay. Further, let's understand what will happen if the kidney stones are there. Well, most of the people undergo surgery to remove these kidney stones. All right. Not necessarily all the kidney stones require a surgical intervention because the stones have varying diameter and sizes. So, a proper physician or the certified doctor will be able to take a proper call on what procedure or what approach to be taken to treat or cure the stones. Further, you came across renal failure. What is renal failure? Well, please note, it's a condition when the kidneys completely stop functioning. Renal failure can be sudden in case of acute renal failure, or it can be gradual in case of chronic renal failure. You remember chronic is a term which is used for diseases which last for a long duration, right? Well, there are certain diseases which when they last for a very long duration, they can have a negative effect on the kidneys. In fact, even if there is a condition in the kidney which is not being treated and has been left like that for a very long time, that can also cause renal failure. So there are multiple factors or multiple reasons which can lead to a disorder. Further, please note, the ultimate method to rectify a renal failure, kidneys have stopped functioning. What will you do? Replace it. So you have got kidney transplant as an option for complete renal failure. All right. Now, next was about renal transplant. So when you talk about kidney transplant, it's just another term for renal transplant. Okay. Now, what happens here? It's the transfer of functional kidney from a donor to a recipient and thus replacing the damaged kidney. Of course, there are a lot of parameters that you need to check whether or not the recipient and donor match. Okay. And for a successful transplant, you need to be very particular about those parameters, which can be, anything, blood group, and then, the immunity, the response of immunity, etc. Further, you came across renal tubule. Now, that's like the basic part of this topic, isn't it? Think, you came across nephrons. Nephrons are the basic filtering units found in the kidney, isn't it? And we know that the nephron has got two basic structures. Glomerulus, here. That's a tuft of capillaries or a network of capillaries, isn't it? See? And how are these capillaries formed? From an incoming afferent arteriole. That afferent arteriole divides and folds and all to form this tuft-like appearance. The other part of the nephron is the tubule. This tubule, which encompasses Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule. But between the proximal and distal convoluted tubule, what you see is a hairpin-like structure known as Henle's loop. So the name was given based on the person who discovered it. And also note, we just spoke about Bowman's capsule. Here it is. That's a cup-shaped structure. Again, the person who discovered it, Bowman, that's whose name it is associated or given. Easy? Please remember, this is what your renal tubule will encompass, these structures. Finally, let's pick the answer, but I hope by now you've got the idea that the term renal is associated with kidney. And the answer for this particular question is option D. Kidney stones or renal calculi are or is the condition when there is deposition of insoluble crystallized salts. Now, students, match the following with their appropriate explanation. So, column 1 has got 4 disorders: ketonuria, hematuria, glycosuria, and dysuria. Column 2 has blood in urine, presence of excess glucose in urine, discomfort while urinating, and ketone bodies in urine. Some of these options will be quite obvious. See, ketonuria, ketone bodies, then glycosuria, glucose. Yeah. So even if you get 3 close ones, 3 correct ones, you can immediately pick a correct combination and get the answer. But here's what you need to understand: since you are practicing, please make sure you get a good explanation for the incorrect options as well. So here we go. Let's start. Ketonuria. What is ketonuria? It is a presence of ketone bodies in urine. All right. See, generally, ketone bodies are broken down in the liver. All right. Now, one thing what we should know is ketonuria, the term will come into picture when there are large amounts of ketone bodies in the urine, because that's not normal. All right. But please note, what are ketones? They are the end products of fatty acid metabolism. All right. So, keep this in mind. Ketone bodies, ketonuria. Okay, abnormal, large amounts, that's abnormal. Further, hematuria, blood. So, hematuria is presence of blood in urine. And presence of blood in urine can come, or it will happen when in conditions like urinary tract infections, kidney stones, even in case of tumors. All right. Please note, again, I'll repeat, do not just worry about these, even if there is like a small symptom. At times, there might not be blood in urine in case of urinary tract infection. So, there is always variation when you see symptoms in patients, okay, or symptoms in individuals. Further, you had glycosuria. This refers to the condition when there is excess of glucose in urine, too much glucose. So, the normal glucose level is 0 to 0.25 mg per milliliter. And during glycosuria, what happens is it rises way beyond 0.25 mg per milliliter. All right. So, normal values are generally given in the report which is submitted. If in case you want to check, so you get a report from the pathology and you can see the normal values given and the findings of the specimen or the sample which was handed over to them. Okay. Further, dysuria. What is dysuria? It's pain or discomfort caused during urinating. Now, urinary tract infections, then tumors, kidney stones, vaginitis, these are all some of the conditions which can cause discomfort or severe pain during urinating. All right. Now, let's pick the options then. So, ketonuria, we know option 4, ketone bodies in urine. Hematuria, blood in urine. Glycosuria, glucose in urine. And dysuria, discomfort. So, 4, 1, 2, 3. Let's see which option has that. Option B, 4, 1, 2, 3. Easy? Hope this helped. Now, let's try this. Pyuria is the condition of urine containing A, red blood cells, B, white blood cells, C, glucose, or D, homogentic acid. Now, let's try this. You see, students, pyuria is actually a condition where we find white blood cells in the urine. All right. And white blood cells may be accompanied by pus cells also. Further, we saw red blood cells as an option. Presence of red blood cells in urine is a condition which we call as hematuria, often seen in cases like urinary tract infections, even kidney stones, or maybe tumors. Now, another option that you saw was glucose. Glycosuria, please see this. Glycosuria refers to the condition where excess glucose is excreted in urine. See, a normal amount of, somewhere around 0.0 to 0.25 mg per ml of urine is acceptable. But when it goes beyond 0.25 mg per ml, then we say it's glycosuria. And conditions like diabetes mellitus may show a large amount of glucose in urine. All right. Now, finally, there was something called as homogentic acid. Now, this particular acid is seen in urine in a condition called as alkaptonuria. Now, It is a type of a disorder where the body cannot metabolize tyrosine or phenylalanine. And this leads to the accumulation of homogentisic acid, and the same is discharged in the urine. And you know what happens? The presence of this particular acid also tends to give the urine a brownish or a dark colored appearance. Further, let's mark our option. B happens to be the correct answer for this particular question.